Hola, chicas. Today we are going to learn the present tense form of the verbs tener and venir. They are grouped together not because of their similarities in meaning, but they are grouped together because of their similarities in conjugation. So you will notice in the conjugation what you've already learned with ER and IR verbs will help you identify these irregularities in tener and venir. And they are used very often in Spanish to express things that we often use to be in English to express, and we'll get to that in just a moment. So please note in the yo form, the ending is go in both tener, which is to have, and venir, which is to come. And then in the tu form, the usted, él, and ella form, and the ustedes, ellos, and ellas forms, the stem is changed from E to IE. From E to IE. And then the nosotros form is the same. It's the only tense, it's the only form that is not irregular. And you'll notice because tener is an ER verb, it's going to end in emos, like the ER verbs, and then venir is going to end in emos. However, the rest of the endings are the same. When it comes to tener, we've used it quite often already in our class. So, tienes una familia grande is one example of a sentence that you've probably heard. Do you have a large family? And then her response in the yo form with the go ending would be no tengo una familia pequeña. So, please note the nosotros, as I mentioned before, formation, because it is exactly the same as what you just learned with ER and IR verbs. So one of the great things about learning tener is you're going to be able to use so many more expressions that you would use in English. So in certain idiomatic or set expressions in English, we use to be. I am 17. I am cold. I am hot. I am scared. But in Spanish, the difference is the construction will be tener plus a noun to express all the things that we use to be plus an adjective. And so this chart right here is going to give you the most commonly used expressions in Spanish with tener. So you have a certain amount of years. You have a feeling of being hot. You have careful. So I know it's going to take a little bit of getting used to, but once we practice together, you'll get a hang of it. So let's read through them together. Tener años, tener mucho calor, tener mucho cuidado, tener mucho frío, tener mucha hambre. And you obviously do not have to use the mucho or mucha. That is just how you express something if you had a lot of it in that given circumstance. Tener mucho miedo de, because you are scared of something. Tener mucha prisa, if you're in a big hurry. Tener razón, no tener razón. Tener mucha sed. Tener mucho sueño. Tener mucha suerte. And sueño also means dream. So you in the past have probably said, estoy cansada. So that also makes sense, but if you'd like to say something that translates closer to, I am sleepy, then you would use, tengo mucho sueño. I'm very sleepy. Okay, last thing I would like to introduce to you in this video screencast is how to express an obligation when you have to do something. I have to study, I have to do an activity, I have to sleep. And this formula would be tener que plus an infinitive. So just like we learned certain ER-IR verbs in the last lesson where you would use a conjugated form of an ER or IR verb plus the infinitive, this is the same formula here. So when you have the two verbs back to back, you're just conjugating the first one and not the second. That one remains in the infinitive. So for instance, que tienes que estudiar hoy. Tengo que estudiar biología. And then last thing, if you want to ask somebody if they feel like doing something, almost like, are they ready to do something? you would use tener ganas de, so to feel like, and then plus the infinitive of whatever action they feel like doing. So the examples given in your V-text are, ¿Tienes ganas de comer? No tengo ganas de dormir.